What is up, the Tube and the Steam blockchain? So today I want to talk a little bit about photo manipulation becoming stronger or better, and just talk a little bit about what that might mean. So there was this new app, or I think it actually was an old app, but maybe they did some update to it, but it's called FaceApp. And it basically allowed you to, in a very fast way, transform yourself into an old person, into a female, into a male, or whatever. You could even change the background. And that really makes you think. Photo manipulation. What does that mean? Well, it means that I think Instagram is finito, because it's like in 2 years or so, the manipulation is going to be so good that you can simulate anything, especially in terms of just a photo. Because this face app, put in my face, it was really good. Oh, it was really good. It was almost, I mean, it is good. And it's only going to be better. So, because it's going to exponentially become better, the photo manipulation thing. And that really makes you think, what does that mean for a lot of content? Well, it means a lot of content is, well, it might mean many things. In a first view, it seems like, well, we can't trust anything, especially in terms of photos. It might go to 0 in value. All the influencer marketing and stuff like that, it might be worth 0. There's also another chance, and that is that it actually sparks more innovation in terms of, well, if anyone can make any sort of photo manipulation, they can build up stories, they can build up brands, they can make virtual reality. That is another possibility. How that would work, I was considering it right now, just a little bit. How would that work? Well, it would mean if you can manipulate photos and sort of create sort of anything, it would mean that you can create interesting personalities, interesting stories, because people love stories, they love brands, they love the idea of a human. So that would mean maybe that humans would be able to build up stories, build up brands, build up virtual personalities, and it would be an extension of what we currently do. So in one way you can see that, oh my god, this is just going to mean the end of photos and visual stuff, because now you can just make everything fake. Another possibility is that it's just going to expand the space, and that it's just going to make it even more that, well, yeah, you can be a real person and walk around and do stuff, photos and stuff like that. You can be a real human with an interesting personality that travels to a lot of exotic places and stuff like that. Or you can build a human from scratch, or a virtual personality. I guess I should say, you can build a virtual human from scratch and make an interesting story and try to make it into an interesting brand. This would mean, first of all, that competition would rise. So people would demand more than just visual stuff, because visual stuff would probably get a little bit boring. But if you combine that with some interesting stories, some text-based thing, that, and you cover an interesting niche, that actually may work. So there are no real guarantees what photo manipulation can mean, or what it will shape stuff into, but we know that humans love expanding stuff. And we sort of see also that maybe the universe or the creation still isn't happening. Or yeah, we can observe, we can see it. It's a happening. It's not something that happened, it's a happening. So that can mean that might become a huge thing, that people are creating interesting brands and sort of get deeper into human psychology of what people desire, what people want, and try to satisfy individual people's custom desires or satisfy humans' virtual reality. Because everyone sort of is on the internet. 30% of people's life now is like internet in many ways. Don't quote me on that, but it's also stats. That means that it might be a huge market to satisfy people's, I don't know, virtual imaginations. And everyone has different stuff they want to do on the internet. You can see forums and stuff like that people obsessed about certain things. Well, humans love stories. Humans love humans love stories, brands. They love great content. They love great value. Whatever now is value for a person. It's kind of interesting. Photo manipulation. What does that have to do with video is a good question. Like eventually, because obviously it's going to move into video eventually. So, I mean, we already in many ways, well, you can create cartoons and all of this. And if you look at that industry, where you create visual, engaging stuff, we can see that people consume a lot of that. TV, movies, TV shows, all of it. So it might just expand the space. It really might just expand the space. Two big outcomes. But it's gonna grow. And this is something that, you know, as I talked about in another video, that with polls, with access to humans, with access to 7 billion people eventually, easy to be able to connect to anyone, any intelligence, whatever, we sort of start to see that this is really military technology. Which means that, well, virtual reality is going to grow. It's going to be huge. And in a way, it's more as, it's not like people didn't manipulate in the past. Like people, like if you look at what the internet in many ways is, well, you're looking at some colors on a screen, some light and sound. So it was already a manipulation, but now it's just that it's going to be more obvious that anyone can create something. The phone can create something that a person wants. It's very interesting. It's very interesting. Because then you don't need this same experience for everyone. And already in life, everyone has their own experience of life. So in many ways, photo manipulation is going to be an expansion of very unique life experiences, because the virtual stuff in many ways is some kind of experience. It's probably a lot of waste of time, but it also is it is engaging with life in some form of new way, I guess you can call it. And humans in many ways enjoy it. They enjoy entertainment. So yeah, it's really gonna grow. And I really look at it as, I mean, Instagram is really, it's gonna be easy to get followers, but then I think followers are going to be, like, there's going to be more incentive to make people high quality. Because if you just have followers that is just let's say you just have followers that just consume stuff, they don't produce, they are not engaged, that's not going to be that great. Because you want people to be prosumers, the producers and consumers at the same time in many ways. So there's going to be massive incentive, I think, to increase the quality of followers, to empower them in blockchain networks, where it's in your best interest that everyone is empowered, because win-win, not win-lose, win-win. Not judging so much, accepting. Yeah, but it's gonna grow. I look at the Instagram and it's just like, it's just virtual reality now. It started off as, well, you have all these unique people and they take all these unique photos. But when everyone can do the same thing, it's just, well, this is very basic stuff. It's gonna be, now it's more about organized data and see how we can create more cool stuff. Who can get access to the most data? Lumios is interesting. And organize it, put people to work, digital jobs, organize more and more data, gather more data. It's all about the data, and see what can come out of it. Even me doing this video right now, it's just me making some sound, but what I'm really doing is producing new data that is somewhat organized in a way, because you organize your words, the way you say it, but it really is in a way some kind of slow mining, get some tokens and try to improve, try to look at life, try to see what kind of data do we have here, how can we sort of organize it, how can we give it to the AI, how can the AI produce better outcomes. It is this, you try to create this positive feedback loop. And smartphones, right now they have a ton of apps because a lot of data is unorganized. You download some app, it's already old the next day. Many apps is very interesting with Android and iOS, because a lot of apps these days, they get maybe 50 megabyte updates once a week. It really starting to take up a lot of storage, and it's a lot of inefficiencies. But and it really is going towards a fully automated device that just better organize everything. And then you can do all in one app. You can even click a button, do all this on auto, and it's just gonna run itself, which is interesting. That's why you see all these companies trying to gather more and more data, because data is value now. Because look at this, I'm doing this video, it doesn't cost that much from the phone, and it gets sent into the cloud. Someone probably, hopefully, is gonna give it some token, and then you take that token and you reinvest it into what exactly? Because the smartphone stuff like that, doing videos, is gonna go down to zero. So that means we have a plus value in tokens. And what is that eventually going to be worth to reinvest into? It's going to go towards organize more and more data. So it has this compound on compound on compound growth effect. That means you have to have a production of data. You have to always have new inflow of data coming in. And sort of see, like in a video like this, there's not that much maybe super value, but there's a little bit. And as long as there is some new form of data that has some form of value, there is some kind of interesting or organized in some pattern, it has some value, right? And we're limitless, so we always have new stuff we can take in and absorb and express. Yeah, that's what I want to talk a little bit about today. And photo manipulation is really going to create even more data, and I really mean a lot of data. And it's going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy. That's why I see as, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how photo apps evolve. So you could take like a virtual generated human that doesn't even exist, and you can put that human into another app that makes it into something else. So you can sort of, and then you could probably automate this. Yeah, we're moving towards automation. This means a lot of basic tasks. Human, there's not going to be any need. Like, you don't have to take a photo. You can focus on higher level tasks, and that's really good. It's really good because a lot of people fool themselves into thinking, oh, take a photo and upload. Oh, I got a token, and that they think that is massive value, but it's really chump change. Chump change. You should try to focus on the bigger tasks. So Instagram is, at the moment, it's just chump change a lot. It's like, okay, one click. Do we really need this? Or can we make an AI Instagram? You probably can do the AI Instagram. And that's going to be more faster, efficient mining. So quick thoughts here. Photo manipulation on the rise. Be aware. Have a great day, YouTube and the Steam blockchain. Bye bye.